Hey up guys, how are we doing? Welcome back to the channel. So I've just been in the Shrines Inn. There it is, look. Oh, it's dodgy getting out of here. Very dodgy getting out of here indeed. And we're back with fucking maniacs. Fucking idiots trying to kill me. Coming around corners like fucking God knows what pricks. Yeah, just been in the Shrines Inn pub for something to eat. I've just looked on menu, and every single thing, if not almost every single thing that I've just read on menu, it said homemade, homemade, homemade. So I've had a beef burger. I'm sure that was homemade as well, homemade beef burger. And it comes with chips and side salad. It didn't come with coleslaw unless you pay for it separately, but I've had some coleslaw to be paid for separately on the side as a, you know, sort of like as a side dish, a side order. So I've had some coleslaw with a homemade beef burger and chips, and it is very, very from me, personally from me, from a standpoint of view, it is highly, highly recommended that you go in there and have something to eat. It's very, very, very nice food. The chef in back, whoever he or she is, clearly he or she knows what they're doing. You know when you can, you know when you just bite into a burger after you've like bit into like a beef burger or a chicken burger, red meat, white meat, whatever. You can just tell if it's like proper meat, if that makes sense, or not, or if it's got like some water in or additives or preservatives. You know what I mean? You can just tell. You can just tell as soon as you bit into that beef burger. You could just tell it's absolutely as homemade as they come. It's just proper beef. It's just beef all the way through, and that's it. It's just beef all the way through. And them homemade chips as well. Them homemade chips do not come any more homemade than that. You could tell anyway because they're rustic. All chips and beef patty were rustic, as in it like no chip with the slap bang same length and width and size and depth and everything. You know what bang same like shade of colour as well. Every chip were a different width, length, size, a different shade of colour. It's same with beef burger. The homemade patty beef burger, it weren't go on, what were I gonna say? What's it that I'm looking for to actually say? Hang on, just let me chin strap out. There we go. Yeah, it weren't like perfectly. The beef burger weren't so perfectly even, perfectly round. Everything were like on the plate, apart from obviously coleslaw and the side salad, but chips and beef burger and everything, it were like rustic, all different, you know, shades of colour and sizes and everything. Really nice. I'd really highly recommend it. Oh, bless him. So, I don't know if you just saw that just then, but that van driver in front, this silver Ford, if you haven't, then just go back and rewind it a few seconds maybe. He's noticed me, a biker, in his wing mirror. I do. And what he's done is, he's actually put his hand out, his right hand out, and he's waved me to the front. Not aggressively, I don't like that. It was just a nice little gentle wave to just say, it's no problem if you want to go in front of me, buddy, so that I'm not holding or keeping you up. It's waved me on to actually put me first, to commit a selfless act. And even though I very politely just waved like no at him, I basically just like waved a hand signal that said no, and then I put the thumb up to him to let him know I'm alright. I'd just rather really just take my time and all back and just enjoy scenery and views, but nevertheless, either way, I really appreciate that. I really appreciate what that van driver has just done for me then. Committing a selfless act by being selfless, by putting me first through waving me on in front if I wanted to. So yeah, I really appreciate that. He noticed me in his wing mirror, obviously, and he thought about just putting his right hand out and waving me on in front. Yeah, I really appreciate that. But no, I just said very politely back to him. I basically just gave him a hand signal that said no, and I put my thumb up to him to say, you know, no hard feelings, but thanks anyway. But if I'm honest, I'm alright, just enjoying scenery and views and just hanging back. Yeah, I was just saying, went over a right bump then. Oh, yeah, yeah, I was just saying, you know, you see, that's the beauty in it, to do with these two different types of videos, as in, I'll tell you what I mean. If you're getting out there, right, to literally record your ride and nothing more than to just look at seats, you know, scenery, scenes, views, all that lot. What you can do is, you can actually literally make the videos in as many parts as you possibly want realistically. So you could literally do like part 1 of 10, so you could do 10 or 15 parts of literally a ride out with nothing else more to actually say or do on that video. Whereas if you're going out with the whole, you know, intention, purpose, means, point behind a video where you want to talk about and bring up something specific, like a specific particular actual topic discussion, it doesn't really, to me, in my opinion, this is just my opinion, but to me, it don't really kind of like make sense having something to say in even more than one part, like even if it's just a two-parter, because the whole point of if you've got something to say is keeping all your sentences and your words and the topic all relatively bunched up together by getting it off your chest, by getting it out there, by keeping it all in one video, by doing it all at once, all in one foul swoop. Because to me, it just kind of really wouldn't have the same feel or effect if you were to talk about something, you know, a very specific particular topic, being enthusiastic about something or ranting about something, good or bad, negative or positive, whatever it is. If you were to do it like in more than one video, it kind of don't make sense to me in a way. But so therefore, you've got to really keep a certain particular topic of a video quite short as you can, because I think that if people see a video before they even clicked on it, if it's like, you know, proper long, straight away they're going to get that sensory overload, where straight away they're going to look at how many minutes it is, right, and then go, no chance, I'm not clicking on that, I'm not watching that, it's too long. In other words, they're sort of like self-admitting, I ain't got patience, sod that. Yeah, unless if you're really, really exceptionally good at what you do, like captivating an audience and keeping an audience, then yeah, I agree. But other than that, it kind of don't go, it don't work. But you see, whereas if you're literally just like me today, going out on a ride with no importance, you can keep the videos down as short as you can. So in other words, you can make as many parts to a meaningless video as much as you want. You can make as many parts as much as you want to a video that holds no importance or no meaningful, you know, no meaningful importance. You could just say part 1 of 10 of a ride and a chat with me about nothing really, and then part 2 of 10 of a ride out and a chit chat with me of nothing importance really, and then part 3 of, you know, a ride out with me of no point or purpose or importance really, and then part 4, and you get the gist. But it don't really make sense to me. Can you imagine saying, right, can you imagine like titling your video something like, I'm absolutely fucking fuming, I can't believe what I've just seen, part 1. I'm absolutely fucking fuming, I can't believe what I've just seen, part 2. I think, for me, and I think if I'm not getting this wrong, if I can speak for other people, they'd want to see like a rant or out like that, or something good, all in one video. But I don't know. Anyway, I'm probably the only person who does, but I know what I mean anyway. I know what I mean by the point I've just made, by point I'm trying to deliver. even if you don't, who's watching and listening to this, but I know what I mean anyway, so push your way through. Push your way through, why don't you, van? Expecting me to just move over to my left fully, instead of waiting where you are and allowing me to take command position, which is position 2. But no, you just push your way through and expect me to go like this and move over to the left. To the left, but the amount of times I've rode through, not just here right now where we are, but you know, like you know, just like the very like posh, rich looking countryside, and like, you know, like tranquil, like you know, village postcard type places and all that lot. The amount of times I've rode through very nice swanky places like this, and I've said to myself, I've said, God, I'd love to live here, I'd love to move here, do you know what I mean? If I were very successful in business, or if I'd won a couple of few million hot lottery, whatever, I'd love to move here. But the thing what's sort of like what I think of straight away after that is it's same as Matlock. The amount of times I've said I'd love to move and live in Matlock, but I've said to myself afterwards, but fair enough if you were to do that. I mean, yeah, if you were to do that, or if you'd at least like run into some good serious money to be able to do that, it wouldn't, well, would it or not, feel like a nice break and a nice getaway break to you anymore. Probably not, because that new place will then be your permanent, committed, long life term, you know, place of residence. You couldn't really sort of like get on your bike anymore and go on a ride, and as a nice escape and a nice break and a change for you to de-stress and, you know, unwind and stuff, because, well, for obvious reasons, because you'll be used to it so much and that much, because that'll be where you live. So really, would it in a way spoil it, in a way, if that makes sense? Yeah, so in a way, you know, I think it would ruin that nice break for you and that getaway and that nice escapism, because that's the point. Because you'd be living there, it then wouldn't feel, because it wouldn't be, would it? It wouldn't be an escapism, a getaway. It wouldn't be a nice break for you, because you'd be living there. Always see more than one subject to a point. Have I just said that the wrong way around? Or always see more than one point to a subject? Oh, I don't know. But do you know what? I don't have to know. Do you know why? Because I don't care. Do you know why I don't care? I don't know why I don't care. But I don't know why I don't know why I don't care. But it don't matter because I don't care. Oh. Do you know what? There's more and more people and I can say this personally because it's what I've only observed and witnessed with my own eyesight, with my own eyes. It's what I've, you know, it's what I've seen and come across. That's why I can say it. But there's more and more people now that's buying these fully electric vehicles, these EVs, more and more now, more than ever. They're a growing population, unfortunately, and I mean that very, very sickened and saddened to say, and I mean it very, very unfortunately. It's a sad state of affairs, it really is, because the way that I look at it, right, is I look at it like this. Ultimately, okay, now people might not like this for what I'm about to say, but even though I could be wrong, so yet again, this is just my opinion, if I'm not wrong, that people who buy these EVs, electric vehicles, so owners already right now speaking of an EV, right, really are the problem. Because if you just think about it with a bit of logical sense, or this is my logic anyway, but the more people that turn to and, you know, buy and own an electric vehicle, right, each time that happens through each single individual person doing that, that is one more notch what they are giving the government by power. That is one more notch of power that they are handing over to the government, because the government will look at a statistic sheet, maybe every, well, as fast as maybe every day, if not every week, every month, but certainly at the most every year, annually, right? They'll look at these statistics of the population in growth of them shoving electric vehicles onto people, if they've gone up or down or stayed same, by looking at, like I said, a statistics chart, a statistics, you know, proven sheet. And what they'll do is, the more EVs that are bought and owned by every normal, day-to-day normal Joe public like me and you, and anyone really for that matter, it don't matter, even celebrities, multi-millionaire entrepreneurs, you know, all, what they'll do is they'll look at that and then they'll go, alright, you see, so us pushing electric vehicles onto people, it's working, because we can see here on this statistic chart, we can see population growth of it going up and up and up. So in other words, more people are now buying electric vehicles, EVs, and it's going up and up and up, right, every year or whatever, or every month or whatever, however often they'll look at it. So therefore, what are they going to think? They're not going to think in the right mind, and this don't make sense, does it? They're not going to then say and go, well, because it's working for us, I know we'll just pull the plug on trying to push electric vehicles onto people. No, they're going to do opposite, because it's common sense and it's logic. It's so logical and common sense. They're going to say, oh well, because clearly it's working and there's more people buying them now more than ever, what we're going to do is we're going to push it even more on people because they're falling for it. In other words, what does that mean at the same time? We're going to, little by little, right, slowly start gradually, little by little, getting rid of petrol vehicles and even diesel, petrol and diesel vehicles. So my point is rewinding and going back to my point that I made, right? Anyone who has got, who has bought and now owns an electric vehicle, as long as you know, without any ifs or buts or arguing back to this, as long as you know that you have got to take it on chin, that you are 100% contributing to the problem. Because let's say, for example, just thinking about it so logically, right, let's think about it the other way here, right? No matter how rich and wealthy you were, no matter how much of a great big massive bargain and deal it were for you to get by government pushed on you an electric vehicle, if enough people were to all just, you know, plug together, get together and just say no, we're not doing it, I'm sticking with petrol or diesel. Once the government see that, you know, their statistic charts going down and down and down in sales, they can see a massive decline in electric vehicle sales. They're not going to then think, oh, unless if I've got this mistaken, we'll push even harder, we'll do this and be bullies and we'll do this and do that. If enough people stuck together with the same mindset, mind frame, and just said no, I'm not buying one of them, no, I'm sticking with petrol or diesel vehicle, then they would have no choice eventually but to pull plug on the silly idea and then just go, oh well, we tried it, it weren't working for us. As much as they're going to hate us for that and resent us for that, I do, how we're doing, then so what, so be it. Even if they're going to absolutely hate us and resent us with a passion, so what? We would have still won at the end of the day by sticking together with the same mindset, mind frame, mentality. Anyone who has bought and obviously owns, you know, an EV, you are a great big massive contributor to the horrible negative problem. That's great, that being it's summertime. Well, technically I know we still are in summertime right now. Once we'll head there, looked at right there, sat on them benches looking out there, look. Do you know what I mean? Getting an ice cream from there. It's great in you know, like even though we're in summertime right now, but on a much more like red hot scorching day, a red hot scorching of a belter of a day, it's nice just pulling in there. Do you know what I mean? Not on bike, where because it's that hot of a day, with all gear you've got on, you're bloody roasting, and all your clothes have stuck to you because they're all sweat and you're roasting. But it's better actually when you're talking a red hot scorching day, when you come out here in car, you know, so you can just travel with just like very thin light shorts on, and even, you know, a right thin light t-shirt on as well, where you don't have to really get geared up, wrapped up and stuff. And you park up there, you get out of the car, go and get an ice cream with your baggy shorts and baggy t-shirt on, right cool and light ice cream, and you just sit there with your car parked up on one of the wooden benches and just look there, you know, at views, at all red hot scorching summer views. Yeah, it's nice there when you come out in car compared to a bike. Monsell Head. All buildings just look solid around here, don't they? They just look absolutely solid around here, they do. Just got a right nice sweet smell of some like flowers, them, or like with a lavender or rose, a nice sweet smell of rose. A bit of traffic here at this time leading up to roundabout, just around corner. Just when we get around here to left roundabout. As there always is though, it's very common and expected at this time of day. Left signal on, we're going left. Diverted traffic, bollocks to there, not for me, it's not. I'm going home. I'm going home. Going home. Going home. Cancel signal. Right guys, what I'm going to do is I'm going to wrap it up there. Alright. It's been a pleasure as always. You've been with me, the Autistic Biker. Remember, if you are riding, ride safe. Watch out for them other idiots out there on the road. And I don't know what next one will be, next video, but yeah, I'll catch you at next one guys. Alright, thanks for watching, I do appreciate it again. Alright, take it easy, go steady, bye bye. Ta-ra, bye bye.